Hey there, welcome to LSAT Demon Daily. I'm Nathan Fox, one of the founders of LSATdemon.com and the weekly podcast Thinking LSAT. With me is Josh Mansfield, a teacher with the Demon and a 1L at BYU Law. We got an email here from Tony asking, can you help me in less than 3 weeks?
Hi guys, my LSAT history and then some questions. I've got a 162 on my first practice test. It's great. Since then, I've taken a lame LSAT course at a local university and then done Princeton Review self-paced course. I've gotten up to a 172 twice on practice tests, but on the August test, I only got a 167.
Official 167 in August.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
From
Now
a 162 diagnostic, I guess.
Yeah, that's... Oh, yeah. Diagnostic adjacent, yeah.
Okay.
Now for the questions. Can your LSAT demon help me improve my score in the next 2 weeks?
You know, we really don't like to, we're not about like tips and tricks and gimmicks and stuff like that. And I would never like guarantee any improvement for any particular student on any particular timeline. That's just not something we do because it's inherently bogus. But many students do experience big improvement in just a couple weeks. Someone like Tony, who was able to score 162 on a diagnostic, is, I think, going to really respond to our method, which is basically forget all the gimmicks and stupid tips and tricks and stuff and just focus on actually understanding what you're reading. Then when you miss a question, because people who score 162, they get a lot right, but they do get some wrong. And on those questions that you're getting wrong, we can teach you exactly why the right answer is right and why the wrong answer is wrong. And you could have big improvement right away. You could have medium improvement right away. But even small improvement right away is probably worth the $95. I mean, one LSAT point is worth $10,000 or $15,000 in scholarship money,
or more at some schools.
Yeah, so
that's 10 is like on the low end.
You are,
yeah,
right? Yeah, like if 167 is a point below the median at your dream school, and you can get 2 points higher, those 2 points could be the difference between getting admitted but no scholarship at all to getting admitted and a very hefty scholarship. So yeah, I mean, should you go ahead and pay the $95 for just a couple of weeks of study before your test that you're about to take? I certainly think it's worth it. Yes. I'm biased when I say it, of course, because it's my business. But just because I'm biased doesn't mean I'm wrong. And
sounds familiar. LSAT question, maybe?
No, that is an LSAT question. That's an LSAT flaw. You know, the idea that just because someone's biased, they have to be wrong about what they're saying is an LSAT flaw. So I can be right and biased at the same time. And here I think I'm both.
Let's ask the next question. Should I take it again in January after more practice? I'm applying this cycle and had hoped to have all my applications in by mid-December.
Don't do that.
As a follow-up, do schools take scores after you'd an updated score after you submitted an application?
I feel like we're answering this question every episode, but I would
keep getting emails
that you apply in September for the following September. You lose all benefit from early applications if you are registered for a future LSAT. The schools might just go ahead and evaluate you based on your existing bad score. They might also just hold your application until that new score comes out. Again, which means that you don't have any benefit from applying early. So sure, they might take your updated score after you've submitted an application, but that just means that it's as if you had applied late. Not only that, but if you keep doing it this way, you're putting immense pressure on every exam. It's impossible to treat the November test as if it's just another practice test if you're not planning on taking January, and then it's impossible to treat January as if it's just another practice test if you're not planning on taking it in February. So this idea that like you've decided what cycle you're going to apply in, even though you're not done with your LSAT, it's just not the way we do it around here. So I would strongly encourage you to just pump the brakes, wait till the next cycle. People who do it our way end up thanking us. Were you one of those, Josh? Were you somebody who was going to do it sooner and then did
Yeah.
it later instead?
So not only uh my background with the demon, I first started in undergraduate, my senior year studying when I had a little bit of like an existential crisis and decided I want to do something else.
Very common.
Yep. Listen to your guys' pod and you're like, don't go to law school for the same, like, because of an existential crisis. Like, that's the worst thing to do with an
Yeah.
existential crisis.
Yeah.
And I was like, huh, that's probably true. So I pumped the brakes and I said I wanted to go find out what I want to do with my life first. So I went and I worked in healthcare and I did a lot of legal adjacent work and realized that I really enjoyed legal adjacent healthcare work. And so I decided to go to law school. I started studying in the summer of 2022. Decided had some things change at my job. Decided to put it to the side. I wasn't ready. Same thing 2023. It wasn't until 2024 that I actually continued with it. Ended up getting to the point where I was comfortable registering because I scored a 179 among other 175 pluses on practice tests and then registered for August. And I had my applications in day one.
And now you're on a full ride at
Plus stipend.
BYU. Full ride plus stipend.
I make money to go to law school.
You get paid to go to law school because you pumped the brakes a little bit. And that's
Yep.
why we give the advice we give. Again, law schools are going to tell you that this is bad advice, but that's because their interests are not aligned with yours.
Mm-hmm.
They need your application. They need bodies in their seats. They need people to pay tuition so that they can turn around and cut a check to people like Josh. We want you to be like Josh, not the people who are paying Josh.
I'm currently working on a document, Nate, that I don't know if it'll be a podcast episode or a blog post, but it's X reasons why a gap year is a great thing.
Mm.
And it's gonna be dozens long because
Oh, yeah.
gap years are great things. I
Absolutely.
no downsides to taking extra years.
No, enjoy
Zero.
your youth. Take a
Yeah.
gap decade. There is you can be old as dirt and practice law. And there's a lot of things that you can't do when you're old. Fantastic to do those things now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Last question. Tony asks, "What other advice do you have given my situation and goal?" The big one I'd say, Tony started with a 162. He has the horsepower and capability to go to any law school in the country for probably whatever price he wants.
Mm.
And if he takes this route, he is throwing it away.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's interesting because he doesn't even say what his goal is. There is
I
no goal.
I think I'm not sure. I presume it's to have all applications in by mid December.
That's a stupid goal. That's not a goal. That's like a tactic. That's like a
Yeah.
that's just a bad goal. Your goal should be go to the right law school at the right price. And that only reason why that makes sense is in service of I want to practice law in this particular field.
Mm-hmm.
And so I need to go to a school like X in order to do Y legal practice. Then you can have a reasonable goal. But this goal of like, I just want to have all my applications in by mid-December, that's a stupid goal. It's not, you're not telling me what it is that you really want to do. If you told me what you really wanted to do, then I would maybe have better specific advice for your situation. But I know that 99 times out of 100, my advice is going to be pump the brakes, make sure you have your best LSAT. Don't even take the official LSAT again until your practice tests are like 175.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you do take the official test, plan on taking it at least 2, maybe 3, maybe 4 more times because law schools are only going to care about your highest score. Then apply next September to like 15 or 20 schools so that you can see what your true value is in the marketplace.
Of all of my students that I have worked with, taught, or answered questions to for the podcast, I have only ever heard of one case where it made sense to push the timeline, and it was an extremely unique situation. And I use that unique the way that it should be. Hundreds, and Nate, I'm sure you've done tens of thousands.
Yeah, lots
of students, and I think 99% might be it might be 99.9%.
Yeah,
Should
because
just
the only time
delay.
that I ever remember telling somebody, oh, yeah, in that case, it might make sense, was when someone was going to literally get deported because they
That
like
that's
had
the
to
only
have a
example
student
I have
visa.
too. Yes, that is the only one.
Yeah.
They had 6 months to get enrolled in a school.
Yeah. If you're not going to get deported, there's no value. There's no point to
I
pushing it here.
I even had a student. He is planning, like, he already has his job lined up. He has a school though that works best for him to be able to continue to work while also going to school in a part-time program.
Yeah.
And even though he like has a job, knows exactly what he's doing afterwards, like basically just needs the JD, he still chose to wait the year because going to the correct program that allowed him to continue to work in that job instead of having to move and forego that
Yeah.
job for 3 years
Totally.
made more sense. Like,
Yeah.
people with lined up jobs, I tell, if you got a better opportunity to line up for your circumstances, you just need to wait. It's
Oh, there's
just wait.
every reason to wait. There's so
Every
many
reason to
reasons
wait.
to wait. There's, yeah, not any reasons to rush. Thank you, Tony. Email daily at lsatdemon.com if you would like to ask us a question or share some LSAT or law school admissions news. Thanks for listening.